welcome to the Serenity Solutions podcast, number 43. Today I'm going to be talking about mindfulness, how to stay in the present moment, and how important that is for us. I usually choose these based on things that are happening in my own life, but also what's happening in the collective, so that I can help as much people as possible. As well as helping myself, because I find these are helpful to get things out and to focus and really, dig in and take time away from the distractions of the world, which is what mindfulness does. And as I sit here and look at the marine layer and have a couple fires going and a candle lit and just at peace with my animals, it's such an amazing thing to do, and I just feel like I need it right now, and I feel like the collective needs it. I think what provoked me to do this podcast today, when I haven't done one I think in a couple of weeks, is that urge to help others as well as myself, because I find that people just are always like, what's next, what's coming, what do we do next, what do we need to do, and it's just like, come on, just slow down, right? And I just get annoyed, I get frustrated, because it's always like that, and I grew up in that kind of environment, and I just need to not do that. And then when I'm at work, it's like that all the time. And I just find that people, with Christmas coming, for example, everybody needs to do all the things, and then they're like, oh, it's so stressful. And it's like, well, it doesn't have to be if you don't make it that way, right? I understand people have different responsibilities and stuff, but it's do you have to do that stuff that you always do and make yourself stressed out financially, for example? Do you have to get every toy on the list? Do you have to do every item on the, do you have to go to all these festivals? Do you have to go to all the Christmas parties? Do you really have to? I've been reading the Let Them Theory book, so that helps me in a lot of ways, but it's an amazing book for that, for sure. By Mel Robbins, but that would be the let me do what I want part of it. Let them think you're antisocial, let them think you're Scrooge, whatever, but let me enjoy my life and do what I want to do, right? That's the second part of the Let Them theory that I really like. Anyways, I'm going to focus here on mindfulness because that's what I wanted to talk about. And just as I said that, a little chickadee came and sat on the fence to listen to my little podcast. So I think you probably get the idea, just to relieve that stress and get into the present moment, you have to really drown out all those people's opinions, and a good way to do that is using the Let Them theory. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. But according to Mel, here's the chickadees back to sit and listen. And this right now is me being mindful. I'm looking at the marine layer, I'm looking at the fire, I'm looking at this chickadee. I can't see it super clearly because I don't have my glasses on, but it's cute. And the trees look amazing today too, because the marine layers are making it look kind of like the perfect storm movie. So one of the things to stay in the present moment and engage in mindfulness is to focus on your senses. Pay attention to what you see, hear, smell, feel, and taste around you. So that's what I was doing there, is looking at the bird, listening to silence, which I love. I had that calming music on. I could only hear the faint noises of my house right now, which is absolutely amazing. I can also hear my cold in my voice. Sorry about that. Observing the details of your surroundings, from the feeling of your chair that you're sitting on, or maybe you're standing, maybe you're on a walk, maybe you are driving in your car and you're feeling the seats. Love those seat warmers, by the way. I've wanted those for many years, and I have them, and they're amazing. So like, if you have seat warmers, like feeling that heat when you're sitting on your seat, or feeling your dog or cat cuddled next to you and noticing their breath, noticing their dreaming patterns and their like subtle movements. Using mindful practices, practicing breathing deeply, focusing on the physical sensation in the air, moving in and out of your body to anchor yourself, and really feeling that, bringing yourself back to the present, meditating and setting time aside to observe your thoughts without that judgment. They always say, there's these little memes and stuff on the internet about the dog. I always talk about dogs. I love dogs, but they are in the present moment all the time. That's why they're so amazing at it, because you have the picture of the dog that is thinking about the walk, and then you have the picture of the person in the same picture thinking of 5 million things at once. And you're both sitting there, maybe staring at the mountain or staring at the view or something, and the dog's only thinking of the walk. And so that's amazing, right? That's our goal, like life goals. Trying body scan meditations is a good one, where you're like scanning down your whole body, bringing awareness to the different parts of your body and noticing any sensations, without changing them, and feeling the need to change those sensations in your body. When I do that, I always am reminded of my posture, and then I tend to drop my shoulders down, and relax a bit more. Like, relax your shoulders, relax your face, relax your jaw, maybe smile, so that you're not grinding your teeth. And then I often ask, like with my clients or my students, like, do you feel any lighter anywhere or heavy anywhere? And, you can shake that out or breathe into it and kind of relax that area. Practicing mindful movements, focusing on your body's movements and sensations during activities like yoga and walking even. There's one card that I use at school with it's a walking meditation. So actually feeling your feet on the floor when you walk. And it's so cool when you actually do it, because we just naturally walk around. We don't really think about it. But when you actually think about how your feet feel when they hit the floor, that's a form of grounding. Managing your environment and your tasks, limiting distractions like electronic devices. They're amazing, but they're also very distracting, especially social media, which can, bring on a deep scroll into the deep hours of the night, and take your focus away. Even like things like turning this and doing this podcast, I could get notifications constantly if I didn't have that off, right? So this podcast actually takes me away from that, which is nice because I do work from my phone. So turning those social media channels off is relaxing for me, and it's happiness. However, I know there are a lot of good things about those channels as well. I learn so much every day on social media, so I don't like to criticize it too much, but definitely have to have boundaries, right? And turn those notifications off, especially when you're trying to sleep and stuff like that. Focusing on one task, so unitasking rather than multitasking, like avoiding multitasking and dedicating your full attention to the single task at hand. So, for example, doing this podcast is a single task, and it makes me feel so grounded and calm because I'm only focusing on this right now in the quiet of my home. I do get distracted with the dog sometimes because if he's not calm, but right now I've got 2 sleeping animals beside me, which is very calming. And my other cat is on my bed. So, slowing down, like actually, slowing down. Like I was thinking about it yesterday. Sometimes I try and slow down on my walk with the dog, because we go an hour and a half every day. And it's a lot sometimes after working all day, and if I'm sick, of course. But just like actually slowing the pace a little bit helps. Yesterday I got a Starbucks drink as a real treat because I don't normally get those. And one of my mentors, like leaders, uplines, bought us all Starbucks drinks for the Black Friday sales that are coming. That started yesterday, and just as a nice treat. I don't even know her, and it was amazing. So, I was like, I wonder if I could take this on my walk with my working line dog. And I did, just as an experiment, and I was able to drink it. So we're getting to that point where he can be calm enough to not pull me over and knock my drink over. It's not something I normally do because we do go at a pretty good pace up a mountain most days. So I don't generally sip on a drink as I'm moving, but I did it yesterday because it happened to be hot when I got home from work. So that was really nice. But like I actually thought about on the walk, like, oh, this is so nice just to slow down a little bit. Because rushing can lead to less mindfulness. So actually slowing down your pace during activities is a really good way to engage your mind and your body and become more mindful. Acknowledging when your mind wanders and gently bringing your attention back to the present. It's okay to let your mind wander, but bringing it back is what's important, right? Practice accepting your current circumstances and feelings without resistance, and finding grounding activities, engaging in those activities that you enjoy. This naturally leads to a state of presence. So actually humming is a good way to be mindful because you can't think of anything else when you hum. If you try, it's like I say to the kids, like, when you're humming something, you have to think of the lyrics and you can't like think of anything else or do anything. So that's a really good way to be present, listening to your body and what it needs. So for example, if you're sick or, you've got a virus and you think that you need to go to the next boot class or whatever. Normally you go to boot class on Thursday night, not boot camp class on Thursday night. And you got this virus and you think you should still do it. It's not going to do you any good to go to that boot. It's going to stress your body out more and probably cause further inflammation and weight gain if you go to that class. So it's not the best thing to do. The best thing to do is probably some yoga and stretches and stress relief, if you want to reduce inflammation. Being grateful, of course, always is an amazing way to ground yourself and enjoy being where you are, not like I mentioned at the beginning of this, not worrying about the next step, the next thing, the next holiday, the next blah, blah, blah. Exercising helps. And lastly, for the steps of becoming more mindful, you can't escape the present. You are the present moment. just try bringing your attention to your senses, listening to the sounds around you. If you get caught up in the thoughts again, that's okay. Just return back to the senses. So right now, I'm going to do a little mindfulness activity for you. But right now, maybe look around, get your bearings, listen to the sounds. Hopefully it's quiet. Maybe you are on a walk though, and you can hear the sounds of the traffic and the birds, and you can smell apple cinnamon pie coming out of the oven, or maybe you can smell the seaweed at the beach or the flowers that you just bought. Tasting the last thing you ate, maybe. Hearing, we said. Touching, maybe you're in a cozy house coat with fur, a fleece. Maybe you can feel your body on the chair that you're sitting in. So just get your bearings, and I'm going to do a little exercise out of the Mindful Self-Compassion Workbook. This is by Kristen Neff, who has her PhD, and Christopher Germer, who also has their PhD. The Mindful Self-Compassion Workbook is a proven way to accept yourself, build inner strength, and thrive. So they say that we can't respond with compassion to our own suffering until we turn toward it with mindfulness. And they talk about the different senses again, and generally speaking, we are hardwired for survival, not for happiness. So, I'm going to do a little affectionate breathing meditation, it's called. And then we'll do a little reflection at the end of that. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to do a numerology pull. And then I'll let you go to enjoy the rest of your amazing weekend. So the following meditation trains the mind to be more focused and calm. It is a common form of mindfulness meditation, breath meditation, with added suggestions that bring affection to the process. A guided recording of this meditation is available online. So that's for people that own the book. So I'm just going to read it here for you. Most of the meditation instructions in this book involve closing your eyes, but of course it's a bit hard to read with your eyes closed. So therefore, if you are not using a guided recording, you may want to read the instructions a few times before practicing. Okay, sorry about that. I'm just going to skip that part. So I'm going to read this with my voice, since it's my podcast, for you. So find a posture in which your body is comfortable and will feel supported for the length of this meditation. Then let your eyes gently close, partially or fully. Take a few slow, easy breaths, releasing any unnecessary tension in your body. If you like, try placing a hand over your heart or another soothing place as a reminder that we're bringing not only awareness, but affectionate awareness to our breathing and to ourselves. You can leave your hand there or put it back down at any time. Begin to notice your breathing in your body, feeling your body breathe in and feeling your body breathe out. Notice how your body is nourished on the in-breath and relaxes with the out-breath. See if you can just let your body breathe you. There's nothing you need to do. Now start to notice the rhythm of your breathing, flowing in and flowing out. Take some time to feel the natural rhythm of your breathing. Feel your whole body subtly moving with the breath, like the movement of the sea. Your mind will naturally wander like a curious child or a little puppy. When that happens, just gently return to the rhythm of your breathing. Allow your whole body to be gently rocked and caressed, internally caressed by your breathing. If it feels right, you can give yourself over to the breathing, letting your breathing be all there is. Just breathing. Being, breathing. And now gently release your attention on your breath, sitting quietly in your own experience, and allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling and to just be as you are. Slowly and gently open your eyes. And we're going to take a moment to reflect on what you just experienced. So ask yourself, what did I notice? What did I feel? And how am I feeling now? If you were familiar with breath meditation, how was it to bring affection and appreciation into the practice? To allow yourself to be soothed by your own breath. Did you notice that your attention increased when you enjoyed the breath? Was there a difference between being the breath and trying to focus on the breath? You may have noticed that your mind wandered a lot during the meditation. All minds do that. It's the default mode network in action. Please don't judge yourself for having a human mind that wanders a lot. And if you do judge yourself, perhaps offer yourself some compassion for that human tendency as well. Sometimes when people do breath meditation, they focus on the sensation of the breath in a particular place, as it enters and exits the nostrils, for instance, for which some causes constriction in the mind. If you notice this happen for you, see if you can focus more on the movement of your body as it breathes. In other words, concentrate more on the gentle rocking motion created by the breath rather than focusing on the breath itself. Okay, so this is part of a 3 core meditations in this book. And that is the mindful self-compassion mindfulness exercise I'm going to do for you today. I have one more quote before I move on to the numerology poll. Hope you enjoyed that meditation today. So mindfulness is very helpful, as you can probably feel a lot calmer by now, hopefully. Mindfulness is a way of befriending ourselves and our experience, by Jon Kabat-Zinn. And that quote is from a mindfulness journal that has no author because I got it from the dollar store. Okay, I'm going to do the numerology poll now. So I'm just randomly going to shuffle the numerology cards, and this deck is by Michelle Buchanan, and it's numerology guidance cards. So I always pull these randomly. I do a lot of these podcasts randomly. That meditation was random as well, from the mindfulness section of the self-compassion book, because I was focusing on mindfulness today. Now, I'm going to focus on the card deck now and ask, what do we need to know right now? What is going on for us? What is going to help us? What do we need to be reminded of? What does the collective need to know? If there's someone listening to this, what do they need to gain from this podcast today? And I'm going to pick closer to the top today. Okay. 56. Relationship change. Interesting. Okay. This is a bluish purple card with a star on it. And it's number 56. So I'm going to read this to you. This card indicates a time when a relationship in your life is going through a period of change. This adjustment is inevitable and necessary for the natural progression of the relationship, and the wisdom and experience gained will be of great benefit to all involved. Whether a child is leaving home, a partnership, friendship has ended, or a loved one, friend, work colleague, or neighbor is going through a change, know that you and the other person are divinely guided and protected and have the strength to carry on. This card can also indicate a positive relationship change, such as declaration of commitment, for example, a wedding or engagement. It can also indicate the resolution of an ongoing problem or dispute. In order to improve your current situation, you are being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life, cycles that are leading you toward a change in relationship dynamics. During this period of transition, it's important to remember that as you grow and evolve, your relationships grow and evolve too. So be flexible and adaptable and know that all is well. And the affirmation is, my relationships grow and evolve for the greater good of all. All right, awesome. So hopefully that helps somebody today. The mindfulness practices, how to become more mindful, and that meditation reflection, and maybe the numerology card helped you in some way. I'm going to leave it there. Have an amazing weekend, everyone. Happy Saturday, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay calm, cool, serene, and I'll see you next time.